Welcome, my name is Nick, and my partner Jessica and I are going to review Week 4 of Spatial Ecology's lecture and reading materials. Two topics we learned this week were habitat and home range. Habitat is defined by Morrison as an area with a combination of resources and environmental conditions that promotes occupancy of individuals of a given species. Habitat is species-specific and can vary temporally, seasonally, or depending on many other factors. Home range, on the other hand, is an area traversed by animals during typical activities. These can include, but are not limited to, feeding behaviors, mating rituals, and raising young. Home range also varies greatly based on many factors similar to habitat, but it can revolve around a home base. To further explain this, we'll look at the example of the silver-haired bat. Like many other bats and bird species, the silver-haired bats center their home range around a home base. For them, it's roost. For birds and similar species, it may be a nest. Their home range will center around this, and all their behavior, including feeding, travel, and raising young, will likely occur nearby this roost. This is a behavior known as central place foragers, or animals that forage or have their feeding behaviors largely centered around one place. The amount of space that animals use is called its utilization distribution. Spatial ecologists model this measure with convex boxes known as minimum convex polygons, or interpolations such as the kernel density estimation, other interpolations like the Brownian bridge movement models, which assume random motion between locations, or local convex hulls that use generalized polygons and a nearest neighbor analysis.
We also learned about habitat measurements. One of them is habitat abundance, which describes how much habitat is present. Habitat availability, which refers to the accessibility of habitat. Habitat quality, which describes the environment's ability to provide for species. Habitat use, which describes how an animal uses or consumes resources. Habitat selection, which is a hierarchical process that animals use to choose habitat components. We also did 2 readings this week. The first is Exploration and Critique of Habitat and Habitat Quality. Habitat is considered a fundamental unifying concept in wildlife biology, and the word habitat has multiple meanings, but we mainly use it to define where an organism lives, an area of interest, or an area that the subject has interest in. Habitat definitions break into 3 natural classes. The classical outlook, which is a natural abode with resources that permit existence of an organism in the area. The hierarchical outlook of a habitat is an area with demographically or behaviorally meaningful subcomponents. The irrational look of a habitat, which includes any use of the habitat in an indecipherable manner. A critical review of home range studies was the other reading we did. According to this study, there is currently no agreed method of estimation of home range size or for reporting home range analysis results. The study reviewed many of the other articles to see what methods for estimating home range are currently used and how results are reported. The study found that range reporting was not enough to reproduce studies. The methods varied greatly, and many comparisons were made between the studies that yield false results.